The following is a basic overview on hazardous materials training requirements. According to the Code of Federal Regulations, a hazmat employer is one that uses employees to cause hazardous materials to be transported or shipped. Railroads are considered hazmat employers when they meet this definition. Some railroads also maintain or repair tank cars, which are considered hazmat packages when used to transport these materials. The definition of a hazmat employee covers a wide range of job responsibilities. Applying this definition to a railroad, hazmat employees are not just those who operate the trains carrying hazardous materials. The definition covers railroad employees responsible for signals, track, and other infrastructure, such as bridges and tunnels, as well as those who maintain and repair rail cars used to transport hazardous materials. Even railroaders who are not directly involved in field operations are considered hazmat employees. Examples of this include dispatchers, route planners, and employees who produce shipping documents. There are 4 areas that all hazmat employees must receive training on. These are general awareness, function-specific, safety, and security awareness. For employees who have responsibility for maintaining security plans or implementing elements of security plans, in-depth security training is also required. General awareness training familiarizes employees with hazardous materials regulation requirements and teaches them to recognize and identify hazardous materials. The function-specific training is based on both an employee's job responsibilities and the nature of that railroad's operations. An example of this would be teaching train crews their responsibilities for inspecting hazardous material tank cars and documentation requirements for transporting hazardous materials. Railroaders also need to be trained on keeping themselves and others safe when transporting hazardous materials. This includes a good way of identifying the hazards of a commodity is being familiar with hazardous materials placards. Safe handling includes complying with operating rules and your railroad's policies and procedures. Safety training also includes how to use the Emergency Response Guidebook and procedures for preventing accidents and incidents. All railroad employees are responsible for helping to secure the North American freight rail network. No one knows their work environment better than a professional railroader. Security awareness training should include information on current potential security risks to rail operations. Railroaders need to know how to recognize suspicious persons, items, or activities on or near railroad property. This includes attention to detail when conducting inspections of rail cars containing hazardous materials. They also need to know their railroad's procedures for reporting suspicious activities. Rail employees responsible for maintaining a security plan or who have a role in the security plan's implementation also need to receive in-depth security training. In-depth security training must include company security objectives, organizational security structure, specific security procedures, specific security duties and responsibilities for each employee, and specific actions to be taken by each employee in the event of a security breach. Railroad hazmat employees need to initially receive the required training within 90 days of being hired or within 90 days of transitioning into a hazmat employee position. They can work during the first 90 days as long as they are working with another hazmat employee who has received the training. Once initially trained, the training is required at least once during every 3-year period. Employers are required to maintain training records for at least 3 years that include the name of the employee trained, the name and address of the trainer, and the date the last training was completed. A description or copy of the training material must be available, as well as proof that the employee was tested on the training material. We provide hazardous material training programs tailored to fit your railroad's operations. A grant from the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration allows us to offer these programs at your location with no cost to your organization. And requesting one of our programs is easy by either completing a brief online request via our website or sending an email request to hmit@shortlinesafety.org. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about this safety topic.